Hello and welcome. Looks like I'm out of hiatus before Togashi is, so here we are. Um, we are here talking about the NBA playoffs. The gameplay in the background is just some Miley gameplay. Ignored that I have Elijah on my team. We're just doing things out here. Just ignore it. Really, I'm just here to talk about what's going on in playoffs, mainly last night, tonight. Tonight really isn't that big of a night. Not too many games, not too many crazy games. I mean, you know. So anyway, but last night it was a good night. Good night. Great games to watch across the board. Starting off with the Knicks and Hawks, I felt like the Knicks. What is wrong with the Knicks? They're struggling offensively. They've never really been good offensively. I feel like, but it's especially hard when your best player is shooting like I don't know, 20% from the field through 3 games. So, I mean, that's a rough start. Derrick Rose has definitely picked up some of the slack to keep them in the game. Overall, the Knicks aren't performing the way they need to be. Also, RJ Barrett is gone missing, but I'm sure they'll pick it up. Uh, Really, what they need to do is they need to be quicker out of those double teams. Julius Randle is getting doubled, seeing two bodies, passing it off, but once he passes it, the offense just gets stagnant again. They should be looking to drive that closeout, maybe, or just shoot it. Um, it's just a struggle. I mean, you shoot 30% from three, 35 from the field. I mean, it's kind of hard to win games like that. As good as the Knicks defense is, and the Hawks just making it look good out there. I mean, Trey Young, another good game, 21 and 14. Uh, Really dominating the game with his playmaking, finding open shooters. DeAndre Hunter coming back into the lineup is big. He's playing great defense on Julius Randle and a mixture of RJ Barrett as well. Um, also being pretty aggressive, just looking for his shot. And I mean, I really like that. He looks good. He looks really good. Clint Capella, another great game for him. Um, John Collins didn't really go off, but again had a solid game, 14 points. Got into foul trouble again. Um, we keep an eye on John Collins. Think next game he's gonna go crazy. Just a hunch though. Um, yeah, I mean overall this would be a good series. I think this series can easily go 7. I think the Knicks are gonna bounce back. Hopefully Julius Randle comes back with a better game. Um, because they need him right now. They need him. Uh, Moving on to my Celtics and the Nets last night. Man, this was great. This was also a great game. It looks like Nets up 19-4. It just looked like game was over. I was ready to switch back to the Hawks game and just watch the rest of that game because I mean, sheesh. 19-4, Harden's hitting threes. Joe Harris had started off hitting a three. I thought Joe Harris was going to give us 20 again. Katie hit some threes. And, we just come out very flat. But, Jason Tatum saving us like he has been all season. And it's really, really a blessing to have him on this team. And, Marcus Smart being a pest, also shooting it very well in this series. He's been shooting it, I think, around 50% from three. um, he also did a great job on Kyrie last night. He made it tough. Kyrie did hit some big ones late. Also, Marcus Smart just annoying everybody. He's just when you're smaller than the people you're guarding, you have to be annoying at least. You got to do something to change it up. Um, Also, the Nets. I mean, this series should go no more than 6. I mean, really, this series can go in 5. I still think the Nets are gonna win the next couple games and wrap it up, and hopefully, the Celtics will make adjustments in the off season. Um, as far as the Nets, I mean, Harden and KD combined for 80. That was just ridiculous. As far as Kyrie, I mean, one bad game. You know, um, I'm sure. I'm sure it would help the Nets to have Jeff Green. Jeff Green was missing. I think something with his foot. So we'll see how he's faring next series because he's really important to this team. Blake Griffin was having a tough time keeping the ball in front on defense. and Jeff Green is much better at that. And they subbed Jeff Green in, and he gave us issues first two games. We were able to keep the ball in front. Um, yeah, man. But I mean, again, the series is going no more than five. I mean, no more than six, I should say. Sorry. Last game, Lakers. I mean, not Lakers. Clippers, Mavericks. Again, this is another game that looked like it was over. I mean, the Mavericks again. Luka came out with the first 8 points. The Clippers were still switching. I mean, a lot of it just the Clippers looked like they were done. They looked like they packed it up. And man, I mean, but the Clippers is like the one team that like when they're down, I don't expect them to come back because of. I mean, I don't. The Clippers don't strike me as a team to fight through adversity, but they did, and props to them. They came back. They played hard. Um, Also, Marcus Morris showing up late game was also very big for them. I mean, Kawhi and Paul George putting together another good game offensively. I would still like to see him on Luca a little more. I mean, Luca is still going nuclear. I mean, if Luca hit his free throws, might have been a different game, but that's something Luca has to work on. Um, I mean, also for the Mavericks, Porzingis, he needs to be like that 20 a game guy, and he just has not been this series. Luckily, Luca's been picking up the slack so far. I mean, with some crazy performances, I mean, Luca putting up historic performances for a guy at 22. I mean, it's gonna be crazy to see him at 25 or 27 prime, whatever his prime is. But yeah, again, Porzingis he needs to be big. I mean, if you're not making shots and he's not rebounding, he's not the best rebounder. So he's not making shots, he's not rebounding, not really impacting the ball defensively. I mean, once again, that's you just need something out of Porzingis. I mean, I get he's having an off night, but for him not to grab rebounds and for him not to, impact paint defense is just crazy to me. Um, Especially for how much he impacted the series last year. And I get it, he comes off an injury. It's tough for a guy 7'3". You mess up your knee. Um, but yeah, I mean, overall, three great games. Um, I never really shared my predictions because I don't do this YouTube thing often, but I did have I did have the Clippers in six before this series started, and unfortunately, here we are down. I mean, unless the Clippers win their next four games, which they might, or they might just go back to you know whatever they were doing the first two games. And speaking of that, the Clippers they're getting a lot of hate for switching Zubac on DeLuca and also switching smaller guards. But Rondo taking up the challenge to guard Luca, even though he's giving up a lot of pounds and 6 inches. Rondo just taking the challenge. I wish I saw a little bit more of that from Kawhi and PG, but again, they got the win. They played very well after that slow start. So props to the Clippers. I think I'm just gonna end the video here. Um, Thanks for watching.